Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Strongman Personal Finance. We have a very serious topic that needs to be discussed. There's a lot of bad things going on in the world, a lot of bad things. And I'm very concerned about the returns of the stock market going into the future. As a matter of fact, based on some of the wise words of investors like Michael Burry, who predicted the real estate crash. What's up, Mike? And Robert Kiyosaki, he wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad. There's a lot of concerns that stocks are just going to crash more than 50%. Jeremy Grantham, another famous investor. And I'm really concerned because if you look at the landscape, right, we have an energy crisis in Europe. We have a war in Ukraine. We have the Chinese economy on the verge of collapse, supposedly, with their real estate market. And we can even have a war. There's a lot of tensions going on between Taiwan and the United States and China. And we have roaring inflation in the United States. And the Federal Reserve is raising interest rates. There's a lot of bad stuff going on. And I go on YouTube and I see all these people. Oh my God, the stock market's going to crash. This is going to be the worst crash in a century. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen? That may be the case. 100%, we may have a terrible stock market crash. Because if we go and look at the performance of stocks, especially in the United States, we've had some good years. I mean, look at this. Look at this. This is freaking nuts, okay? From the recession in 2008, 2009, if you look at the VTI ETF, it has increased 470% in the last, 14 years? That's a pretty insane return, okay? And this is in the United States, 470%. Imagine getting those kind of returns going forever into the future when the global economy is not going to be growing nearly as fast. And if you look at the United States economy, it's only going to grow at projected 2% in real terms. And that may be lower. There's demographic problems, there's inflation, there's all sorts of disasters out there. However, do I actually think you should sell your stock portfolio? Number one, personally, I don't think you should. It's your decision. You may be at a different stage in life. Maybe you're about to retire, yada, yada, yada. But if you have a 30 or 40-year time horizon, I would not be concerned about this, okay? And if you think about it, what are the alternatives to investing in a broadly diversified total index, total market, total world index? Well, you could do specific sector ETFs, okay? Let's say you want to do the Vanguard Healthcare Fund because you believe, healthcare is the future, right? We have a bunch of old people, blah, 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 blah. It's common sense that healthcare stocks are going to potentially outperform because obviously the sicker and fatter people are and the older our population is, we're going to be spending more and more and more on healthcare. However, think about it this way, ladies and gentlemen. If you have that genius conclusion, don't you think the market has already potentially factored that in? I think so. Because while you may think you're a genius, because you have this analysis, obviously healthcare is going to be a big thing and we're always going to need healthcare, right? That's priced into the market. So while you think you may be smart buying something like the Vanguard Healthcare ETF, at the end of the day, number one, you're probably looking at historical performance. And number two, everybody else has already factored that in. And look at the performance over the last 10 years. 14%. I believe that's beat the S&P 500. I believe that's beat VTI, which is incredible, right? But it's already priced in. So personally, I'm not going to put myself into a sector ETF. I'm not going to concentrate my portfolio on one industry in one country. I think that's a stupid idea. Oh, well, what's another alternative? Well, you could do Bitcoin. Bitcoin, alternative asset. Now, a lot of people say you should diversify your portfolio. Instead of buying all stocks, you should have Bitcoin. And maybe you're considering putting some money into Bitcoin because, stocks could crash. Well, remember this, ladies and gentlemen. Look at the price chart of Bitcoin. Look how violently volatile this asset is. And at the end of the day, what is the intrinsic value of Bitcoin and can it get replaced? Well, the intrinsic value of Bitcoin is zero. You can't calculate it. It's a freaking digital intangible asset. And Kathy Wood, you're an idiot. We're going to talk about you later. And you can't predict where it's going to go. And it could easily be replaced. Christopher Bell, could probably figure out how to make a freaking cryptocurrency. Maybe if I paid some computer science majors. But at the end of the day, why would I not want to own stocks or a broadly diversified market ETF where I own every single profitable and unprofitable company, both domestically and abroad? Why would I sell out of that and put my money into an intangible asset that has no intrinsic value like Bitcoin? Well, then you say, oh, well, maybe I don't trust Bitcoin. Maybe, instead of, running to cash or whatever or something else, maybe I could invest in gold. Well, if you look at gold, what is gold? Gold is a shiny rock. Okay. It has some industrial uses, and I guess it performs well sometimes during an inflationary environment. But if you buy a gold ETF, number one, you're buying a shiny rock, basically. And number two, you're buying into something that basically randomly fluctuates. People run to gold when they're scared. They think the market's going to crash. So why, again, would you sell every stock in the world, every company in the world? Think about your daily life. Every single place you go by. Oh, McDonald's. Oh, Walmart. Oh, Target. You own all of those. Do you think those are going to do worse than something like a shiny rock? Would you want to sell the ownership stake that you have in all of those companies? Think of every freaking company, Tesla, Toyota, everything. It's all in the VT ETF or VT. Well, maybe not VTI. But why would you sell that? And why do you think that would do worse than buying a shiny rock? I don't know. Some people are like, oh, shiny rock. I mean, it's the future. Okay, I think that's freaking stupid. Oh, maybe you could do bonds. Bonds. Well, here's the thing with bonds. I think if you have short-term bonds in a retirement portfolio, that gives you some stability. And on top of that, you get a little bit of income. And when I'm older, I'm going to have a portion of my portfolio in bonds. What's the problem with bonds? Well, in an inflationary environment, generally that leads to higher interest rates. What happens to bond prices when interest rates go up? Bond prices go down. They're inversely correlated. Bond prices or interest rates up, bond prices down. And we've had a historic bull market in bonds. Bonds have had decent returns because as interest rates have gone down, that has elevated the price of bonds. However, once you go to zero interest rates, how much higher can bond prices go? They can't, unless you have like negative interest rates. I guess some European countries have that. At a certain point, like what returns are you going to get besides the yield? And on top of that, the interest of a bond is taxed at your marginal rate. It ain't that freaking great, okay? So I look across the landscape. Oh, I could buy Bitcoin. Oh, I could buy bonds. Oh, I could buy gold. Oh, I could buy a sector ETF. Another thing you could do, and some people talk about this, is you could, buy your own rental real estate, rental house. Like why worry about buying stocks, which are overvalued and could crash, when you could buy, rental real estate? Well, let's think about rental real estate. You got to go out there. You got to find a house. You got to buy it. You got to potentially fix it up. You got to potentially get a property management company. You have to find somebody to rent your home or an apartment or whatever. And then you got to deal with all the freaking BS that comes with that crap. Okay? So why would I sell my total world portfolio? Why would I sell every company in the world so I can invest my money in one house, in one city, in one state, in one country, and have to deal with all the freaking garbage and potential losses that I'm going to incur with the rental home? So can somebody please tell me, what is the alternative to buying a broadly diversified index? Even if stocks are going to crash, what's better? Bonds, interest rates are going up. Absolutely not. Historical returns, not that great. Why? Because they're fixed income. Gold, randomly fluctuating shiny rock. Bitcoin, randomly fluctuating, intrinsically worthless digital asset. Rental real estate. Oh, deal with stupid. Oh, the heater broke because I was hitting it with a hammer. You got to pay me $10,000. What's the alternative, ladies and gentlemen? Okay. Remember, if you have a broad time horizon, 30, 40 years, what does it matter? Who cares? Just relax. It's going to be okay. Okay. And if you're older, you should have bonds. You should have bonds or some kind of fixed income or some kind of cash equivalent. So when you start to draw from your portfolio, you don't have to worry about it fluctuating. Okay. But if you're 30 years old or 33, like I'm about to be, it doesn't freaking matter. Okay. So don't listen to these clowns. Oh, stocks are going to crash. Because what you're going to do is you're going to sell your broadly diversified indexes if you have them. And you're going to buy a bunch of garbage that's probably going to do worse. All that crap I just brought up, gold, shiny rock, Bitcoin, worthless, intrinsically worthless garbage, rental real estate, pain in the butt, probably lose all your money. Those are your alternatives. I'm sticking to freaking stocks, okay? And I'm sticking to a global index because I'm not putting all my eggs in my one basket in the United States because of recent outperformance. I'm not worried about it. I hope stocks crash. I dollar cost average in index funds. I don't care. I don't need to see green all the time in my account. The only time I want to see green is when I retire, okay? I could be red for 20 years. I mean, I'm not red. I could be red for 20 years, 30 years. But in year 35, if I retire and stocks go through a bull run, I've accomplished my goal. I'm able to retire. It's all about how much you can save, not what your returns are. If you got some clown that has a pissant job and he's making, $15,000 a year, but he bought Tesla and it's up 400%, or you compare him to like somebody like me that makes way more than that, and I put a large percentage of my income in a global index, even if I only get 3 or 4% in real returns going into the future, I'm going to be a millionaire because I've saved like crazy. That's what I'm focusing on. And I'm not selling my freaking stocks like a clown. Just, oh, Michael Perry. It's freaking stupid. I'm sick of this crap. See why I'm tired of talking about stocks all the time? I don't know how many times I have to say this. Dollar cost average into index funds. Why is this hard? Why is this challenging to you people? Oh, well, what about Bitcoin? What about this? Shut up. Greatest stock market collapse incoming. I hope U.S. stocks get wrecked. I'm sick of these freaking clowns. Oh, U.S. stocks are good because they went up more. You're stupid strong, man. Yeah, you're a freaking genius. Scott Schaefer said it wouldn't crash. Scott knows a lot, man. He's been around the block while he's walking dogs. You're a puppet of what? Of who? Define a horrible stock market crash. Well, in my opinion, there's no such thing as a horrible stock market crash. Because I think in the long run, I think stocks will be much higher in 30 years. But the one time I would be scared is if there was like a nuclear war or there was like a virus that wiped out like half the population. Okay, maybe you might want to consider selling your stocks at that point. Because then things are so bad that you actually will probably have very bad returns. But if it's just like a normal thing, like a war in Ukraine, we've had 1,000 wars in the world. Okay, we had like a genocidal war that killed 50 million, 100 million people in World War II. We came out fine. We had to fight communism. Half the world fell under communism. We came out fine. We've had multiple pandemics. We came out fine. That's small stuff. Okay, inflation. We've had that before. We came out fine. The host of Hype Stonks here is predicting a collapse. It's inevitable. It will look like the Nikkei of the 80s. I mean, that's always possible, And if that's possible, why would you only have your stocks in one country? Because they went up more strong, man. Stupid. Q. You should concentrate your entire portfolio in SoFi. Oh, my God. Calm down, Robert Kiyosaki. That guy turned into a mega grifter. That's funny. I was literally just thinking about how even if I wanted gold, I would never buy a gold ETF. Yeah, you're paying an expense ratio to like have an ownership. Like they have these vaults. I forget which ETF. I think it might be GLD. But they have these ETFs, or they have these bars of gold in a vault in London. And when you buy the ETF, you literally like a piece of paper says, oh, you own this block of gold. It's the dumbest thing in the world. You're paying like a What is the expense ratio of GLD? Let's go look. GLD ETF expense ratio. 0.4%. Every stock in the world or a block of gold in a vault in London. Gold, inflation. Shut up. Your video titles are as detailed as prawn. Hey, everybody. What's up, black light freak out? Gold would be for protecting against a huge disaster where I would want physical gold, not a shit. Yeah, I agree, man. Like the gold shows like, oh, the collapse. The whole monetary system's going to collapse. Well, I'd rather have physical gold if I was that worried about it than a freaking share of an ETF and a block of gold in London. Imagine there's like a global apocalypse, right? You're like, you call up London, hey, I'm a shareholder of GLD. Can you send me the gold? The freaking phone lines won't even work. I heard the same thing in 98, 2001, the global GDP is going to increase. Like, we're going to be fine, okay? The market may crash with the depression talk. I mean, the Great Depression happened for a lot of reasons, and a big part of it was the Federal Reserve. And I think we've learned a lot since then. And I think the gold standard had kind of an impact on the Great Depression, too. I mean, it's pretty obvious at this point, Europe and China are sinking into depression. I think the U.S. will struggle into 2023 just because of the Fed. Not much work for me. Probably go BK. BK, Burger King? I mean, yeah, Europe, Mike. I mean, God, those energy prices. Like, I watched Sasha's video. It's like, oh my God. How much are they paying for energy over there? they're going to get freaking wrecked. But is that going to last forever? No. Is the war in Ukraine going to last forever? No. Are you selling your stocks in 2 years? Well, maybe. I'm not. I don't care. What about I-bonds? I've already talked about I-bonds, okay? Well, here's what's going to happen. Inflation's eventually going to go down, and your high rate that you get from your I-bonds is going to sink massively. I'm not buying I-bonds, but you do whatever you want. It's a good temporary solution until inflation is under control. I'm not buying them. Also, higher income earners can only invest $10K per year in I-bonds, $5K extra for paying extra. Is that true? Market already crashed. NASDAQ dropped 32%. I think we got more to go, man. Look at the clown market that we had after the pandemic. Oh, we locked down the whole world. Stocks go up. Why are stocks going down? I don't understand. You think you'll beat Jeremy Financial Education's gains in 30? Absolutely. I will annihilate him. And I literally just dollar cost average in index funds. Can anybody look at me in the eye and really say that Jeremy's going to beat me? The guy's an idiot. Tattooed chef. Can't even look at a freaking balance sheet. Oh, the cash is going down every single quarter. Oh, it's almost like they're going to run out of cash. I wonder what they're going to do. If you have a spouse, you can gift each other $10K per year. Why would you gift money? Why would you gift to your spouse? I mean, you're, and the limit is, well, you can gift as much as you want, but you have a lifetime credit. Okay. And I think in 2022, they raised the gift tax exemption to $16,000. Let me double check. Gift tax limit 2022. Yes. You can give up to $16,000 to one person every year without even reporting it to the IRS. If you gift more than that to one person and it's just you have to do a gift tax return, which means you got to pay more tax or tax filing fees. And you have this universal credit. And basically, by the time you die, they look at how much you've gifted over the limit versus your universal credit. And potentially you could have some like estate tax liability or whatever, or some tax liability. But it's very hard to break the limit. But I mean, like, honestly, I would just, like, if I'm super rich and my kids aren't losers, I'll probably start gifting them like, $16K a year. Or me and my wife can do it jointly in $32K, something like that. But why would you gift to your spouse? I mean, you're married. That's just like, oh, here's my own money. There's no point. Dub your portfolio, load up on Tattooed Chef. If you don't see why Tattooed Chef is garbage, excuse me, you're a freaking clown. For a moment, I thought you actually, dude, if I sell my stocks, you need to be worried. I mean, the only time I would sell is if there was like a a virus that killed half the population, or like a nuclear war and like half the world was destroyed. Okay, yeah, I'm selling my stocks. But besides that, I don't give a crap. Oh, but there's inflation. Oh my God. Send a group to beat their people down. Oh, well, doesn't mean their stocks won't do good over the next decade. Here in Switzerland, we pay no capital gains on taxes. I like that. You know what? I like America, and I don't sell my stocks anyways. I don't pay capital gains. Hi, Chris. I bet you already crushed Chris saying it. Of course I do. Of course. Hey, Strongman, my 17-year-old son Julian is here with me in the car, and if you say his name, he will buy VTI with his piggy bank money. If not, all in Bitcoin. Julian! Oh, Julian, please. I'm saying your name. Buy VTI? No, Julian. Check out VT, brother. There you go. I saved a child from losing money. Switzerland lost, and by making sanctions on Russia. That's the funny thing. Russia, they have sanctions on Russia, and then the ruble is now stronger than ever, or whatever their freaking ruble, whatever their currency is. And they're probably making a killing off of gas. And now Europe's like in a freaking disaster. It's a disaster. I just look at it this way. If the world's going to crash as bad as everybody, money will be worthless. Yeah, whatever. I got my house. That's all I need. Don't know why people think the markets have bottomed. Not even close. The Fed rising rates as banks and hedge funds are leveraged way more than 2008, 2000. I mean, it's obvious. I'm not even like an economist, but it's just obvious to me. We have this clown market ever since 2000 and ever since the pandemic, where a bunch of clown stocks went up and then they crashed. Everybody's shocked. Wow. U.S. stocks have done amazing the last decade. No, they might go down again. I don't know. Let's see. Move to Florida. We don't pay capital gains. Well, you do pay federal. I'm stuck in Virginia. I got family here. Ireland is 33% short. Oh, my God. Communists. I'm sorry to hear that. Your money won't be worth anything if it goes as bad as people. It's not going to be as bad. And at the end of the day, you own businesses. Like, that's the whole point. As long as, like, the rule of law still exists, you're fine. France can't even pay their electric bill. They will sell their Eiffel Tower. What if Russia bought it? That'd be funny. If the rest of the world can't trust the West, Zurich and London will lose a lot of business. Dubai sucks, but will scoop international business from the rest of the world. Are you bullish on Dubai, bro? All right, guys, that's it. I'm actually tutoring in 5 minutes. I haven't tutored in like months. I'm too busy on YouTube, but I got to get my tutoring. Got to make my money. Money. All right, hope you enjoyed the video. If you're young and you're not a clown, you don't watch the stock market every day. Oh, stocks went down today. Stocks went up today. Oh my God, what am I doing? God, this is so easy. This is why I don't just talk about stocks anymore. It just gets old. Like, what do I need to say? What more do I need to say to you freaking clowns? All right, guys. I might make more videos later, but I got other stuff to do. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll do a Jeremy outro, and you guys have a wonderful day. Cheers.
Bye. I know I'm a grifter, strong man. You could lick your hand and smack me in the nutsack. Thank God for Tesla, my Esla, and you, strong man.